The religious situation in Nigeria is a complete blackout, like a total blackout. And if you check the political aspect, it is indeed insane. Every 4 years, you will see a politician who will talk about how God has told him to contest for election. He is talking about God and he's also talking about his faith. He will show you that he knows the scripture even more than the pastor. He's touching faith and scripture alone will move the congregation. The congregation with their hungry stomach and tired faces will just stand up and clap for him. When election day comes, millions of those congregation will vote for him, not because he will fix their life. My dear, that is not the case. It is because he is practicing the same faith with those congregation. I am not telling you a made-up story. I am telling you how it works and how it has been going in Nigeria. In fact, it is not a story about whether God is real. It is not even an argument against faith. The problem is when religion becomes a political weapon and those people that shares the same religion with you, you will have to vote for them and so that they can rule for you. And when you look at Nigeria as a whole, it is one of the most religious country on this earth by far. Different types of churches and mosques are lined up in every street and every corner. Religious leaders commands followers that this politician is the best candidate. The Nigeria's faith has been transferred into daily greetings, into business decisions, and into hospital waiting rooms. With roughly 46% of Muslims and the remaining populations are largely Christians, Nigeria has been split in the middle, like geographically, culturally, and politically. And for politicians at the top, that split is great and a wonderful opportunity for them to make people to choose them as their leader. So why on earth is this religion a big problem in Nigeria? Why is it like that? Back in Nigeria's 2023 presidential election, one of the biggest questions on people's lips was not only what is this candidate's economic plan, it was, is this a Muslim ticket? That was a mighty question because Bola Tinubu is a Muslim from the southwest and he selected Kashim Shettima as his running mate, who is also a Muslim from the north. People were surprised that of all people President Ahmed Tinubu chose was Kashim Shettima. Many people were surprised and shocked by this decision. Even the first lady, whose name is Senator Oluremi Tinubu, she said that she is a Christian and at the same time an ordained pastor. She also said it in her memoir that the controversy of her husband's decision left her feeling isolated in her own church. It means that her church did not also like what the husband did. President Tinubu's decision in general was a national headache for anyone that heard about it. You have to notice that people did not also talk about the economic situation or about his big plan for millions of Nigerians living in poverty or about the insecurity that has really dealt with Nigeria, not his upcoming fuel subsidy that he has been talking about during campaign, not education. But it was simply the religion part of the presidential candidate being a Muslim and his running mate being a Muslim too. For years, Nigeria has operated on an unwritten rule. Presidential ticket must be a balance between a Muslim northerner with a Christian southerner or a Christian with a Muslim. It is called the federal character principle in spirit and religious balancing in practice. Nigeria's political system works when a politician or when politicians are rewarded the political slot, not because they are being competent alone, but for all religious matter, whether he is a Christian or is a Muslim. It also means that before a presidential candidate even begins to think about whether he can actually win the election or not, he must first pass a religious audition and he must carry the right faith. I have seen that when a voter chooses a leader because of their faith and not because of what the person can do, and sadly enough, that has been a dangerous path people have been choosing in Nigeria. When the roads are still bad, when the naira is still falling, when food prices are through the roof, the voter will choose their candidate because of religious reason, and the people will suffer and suffer, and those voters they will feel it the most. The Nigerian chose because of religious reason and not because of what the person can do. This is how religion becomes a trap for so many Nigerians. It gives politicians a shortcut to use religion to get what they want in political system. It happens that way in every election cycle, and it is deeply disturbing. Research published in African Journal of Humanities and Contemporary Education Research in 2025 found that in northern Nigeria in particular, the religious affiliation of a candidate is among the most significant determinants of voting behavior, most especially among women. And here is another data again. In a 2024 study in African identities, it was stated that Nigerian politicians have systematically capitalized on religion as a campaign tool, as they continue to exploit the deep faith of the ordinary citizen so that it can build a large number of voters for the politician. During former President Ahmed Tinubu's campaign, most of his wins came from the north part. This is because of his religion and not because he is capable of turning Nigeria into a better country. The same thing happened with the current president Ahmed Tinubu. Most of his wins came from the north part because he's a Muslim and his running mate Shetima is also a Muslim. You see the pattern and you see my point. This is how it works in Nigeria's politics. A voter who chooses based on faith does not need to be told so many things. They will tell that voter that the opposition candidate who is not practicing the same religion as the voter is a big threat against their faith or towards their faith. Only that statement alone will make that voter to choose who is practicing his or her faith. And Nigerian politicians themselves know how to pass that message to that voter. Just one single message alone, that voter have decided right there and then. One of the most effective things a Nigerian candidate can do is not to fix the terrible roads that Nigerians has been enduring for years. It is to go to the popular pastor or imam and get their endorsement so that the congregation will vote for them. That endorsement alone has more electoral weight for any politician to win an election. Religious leaders like the pastor in Nigeria are one of the most original influencers, and it has been like that for generations after generation. And many of them, not all to be precise, have used that influence not to tell the congregation that there is a better person to rule them in terms of good governance, but that person or that same politician is practicing the same faith with them, so that person can change their life. The religious leader does not need to say too much, just one or two words, and they are good to go. The funny part of all these incidents is that Nigeria does not lack intelligent, capable and honest people who will govern the country very well. It is not even short of policy ideas or technical experts. What is short of is political culture that demands governance over your faith and religion, or something that can easily separate the church and the mosque from the ballot box. And that holds leaders accountable if they don't rule Nigeria in the right way. Nigeria needs qualified leaders that will take them far. Faith is a deep thing, but a government is not a church, and a ballot is not a prayer. Until Nigerians and the politicians they elect understand the difference, the country will keep doing what it has been doing best, which is praying very, very, very hard and moving backward, like moving backward when praying. The question Nigeria must eventually answer is not whether God is on their side. It is whether Nigerians are willing to demand that their leaders end their votes with results and not with religion.